It's okay. See? Just me. Rivet?
Hey everybody.
Hello.
Welcome back to our channel. We have a brand new throwback game review to share with you here today. And we're going to be talking about...
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Yeah, so, I really enjoy the Ratchet and Clank games. Before we jump into this though, there will be spoilers in this video. Everything you're watching was recorded on a PlayStation 5. And also, if you like the video, we have a ton of throwback game reviews, film reviews, vlogs from South Korea, food, travel, even Las Vegas, Boston. We have a lot. So please hit like and subscribe. We have a lot more to share with you. And yeah, I think without further ado though, let's just jump into it. Yeah, so really unique game. What did you think about it?
My eyes open, like really different. I think they really take advantage from PS5. So make a very different game than the last one.
Sure.
Like the loading time, there's no loading time.
Yeah, it's really crazy jumping between dimensions in this game through these rifts, and you can just kind of pull yourself into these other levels, and they are already loaded for you. I think it's a nice showcase for the PlayStation 5, and they do it with a really well-known franchise. Some of you may remember we reviewed Ratchet and Clank on the channel earlier this year, the PS4.
PS4 Pro, yeah.
Yeah, and we really enjoyed it. But this game, actually, to me, is a far better game than that one.
Yeah, and also I feel definitely they leveled up the difficulty. The beginning of the game already feel so many enemies and the very fast speed of the game.
Sure.
Like you have to jump on the trail. You have to, the building is falling. You need to survive and also kill the enemies at the same time. It's pretty keep you busy the whole game, I would say.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And one thing I will also mention, the graphics in this game are absolutely beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, the shadows, everything you're watching. We played the game on fidelity mode, which is 4K, 30 frames per second with ray tracing. It is beautiful to look at. It's like an animated movie. I know we kind of made that comparison with Kina on PS5, but this game really lives up to that as well. It's animated beautifully. The kind of lighting, texture work, it's just really, really on point.
Yeah, a different style of the graphic.
Yeah, a little
compare with the Kina.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, still very cartoonish, kind of like an animated movie. But yeah, to your point, definitely different than Kina, but very nice, playful, colorful. I really enjoyed it. And of course, I think one of the biggest twists in this game, outside of jumping through rifts and into different dimensions with no loading, or what appears to be no loading anyway, is the fact that, you don't just play as Ratchet and Clank, you play as Rivet, which is really, really cool, and Rivet's own companion.
The new character.
Yeah, and it's a really, really cool kind of story. You have, again, these enemies throughout the game, and it is this kind of, I would say, pretty short game. It wasn't very long. I think it took us like 20 hours or so to beat it. But there's a lot to do, and you're talking about planets that are actually pretty vast for the most part. Some really big, like, open world-esque areas. And you have these wonderful, wonderful weapons and also just kind of gadgets. You have these speed shoes, you have the magnetic shoes. Yeah, of course, you can kind of use Clank as a chopper. Yeah, just a lot of fun things throughout the game.
Yeah, another new character, the new robot.
Yeah, and yeah, she has her own story. She can
Yes.
turn into this like murderous super robot, which is really crazy to see.
Yes, and she's pretty cute.
Yeah, when she's little, she's very like meek and kind, but
When she's mad,
yeah, when she's mad, she is massive.
lost her control.
Yeah, so definitely not like a one-on-one with Clank.
No, and
Yeah.
another very unique way to play this game is you rotately play different characters. You play
Rivet.
Rivet, then somehow the story changed and you play the other character.
Yeah.
And then at some point I mentioned, I just like, well, they eventually gonna meet together,
Right.
and pretty soon they really met together.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think the story was done very well,
Oh.
and I like the interplay between Ratchet and Rivet. It was a fun game, very epic kind of conclusion, big boss battles as well throughout. Some really good challenge. I currently have 97% of the trophies in this game. Yajing has seen me kind of working my way through it.
He worked so hard.
Yeah. So, I mean, the platinum's attainable for sure. We'll see whenever I get around to it. We're playing another top secret game right now. But yeah, I think another quick thing to mention, and we spoke about this last week with our Spider-Man Miles Morales review, which was also an Insomniac game. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart does have some glitches. I think all games have glitches, right? But there were some very noticeable glitches in Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which I'm surprised from Insomniac we're seeing this on the PS5. I'll give you an example. There was a mission where we had to defeat a bunch of enemies and then turn this Clank kind of in a clockwise fashion to get something to happen. It was locked until you defeat all the enemies. It was impossible to defeat all the enemies because you couldn't find them anywhere. I guess they were glitched into the environment. So we reloaded that area, did it again, and they were glitched into the environment again. I almost gave up, gave it a third try, kind of similar to Spider-Man Miles Morales, but it worked on the third time. So yeah, if there's a message I have for the team over at Insomniac, we love your games, we love your studio, the history of your games. But yeah, the last two we've played from you, your PS5 games. Yeah, there's definitely, I don't know, some QA needed, some testing. So yeah, please get on that. But yeah, I think with that said, I still had a really great time with this. I would even say more than Spider-Man Miles Morales. It was a very fun, approachable game that I can definitely see our baby, when baby grows up a little bit, playing.
Well, I want to complain one thing is you have to beat up all the enemies, then you can go to the next one.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Yeah, then you can collect your stuffs. That's kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, it kind of came off like old school game design in that aspect. You really can't progress until you defeat waves of enemies sometimes, and I hear you on that. Felt a little jarring sometimes. You were like, okay, another wave of enemies.
Yeah, and they do keep sending more and more enemies during the game's processing. So just like, oh, there's some more.
Yeah. I think with that said though, the music is phenomenal, very epic. You know, you really feel like you're crossing the galaxy as these little Lombaxes and robots and yeah, it's fun. Also, I really like the controller, the way that the controller, the DualSense, plays with this game. Definitely feels very appropriate. A lot of tension on the triggers for certain weapons. And there are a lot of fun weapons in the game, as with all Ratchet and Clank games.
Right.
All right, but I think with that, we're ready to go ahead and review Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. So I have to ask, out of 5 stars, what would you rate this game?
4.6.
4.6 I think is pretty fair. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I definitely like it, and it's a phenomenal game. But yeah, you should, if you want a game that's gonna make you kind of just explore this cool galaxy, but not take itself too seriously, and know that there are potentially going to be some bugs where you have to restart checkpoints or levels sometimes, unfortunately, unless it's patched, hopefully soon. Yeah, please, by all means. I think it's been out for a year or longer now, still hasn't been patched, but yeah, there's still hope. So yeah, that's going to be a 4.55 out of 5 stars from us.
Yes.
And we'd love to hear your thoughts. Yeah, have you played Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart? And if you have you run into any bugs or glitches? And likewise, what are your thoughts on the game? We'd really love to hear them.
Yeah, let us know, please.
Yeah, and also, you know, if you want to stick around to the end of the week, we are going to have a brand new video from Seoul, South Korea. One way that you can do that is by hitting the subscribe button to make sure you see it when it comes out. We'd really appreciate it, as well as a like to this video. Yeah, thank you so much, and we hope you enjoyed the video and the channel. We have a lot more to share with you here soon, so looking forward to seeing you again.
See you next time.
Thanks, everyone.